Another loss, and this time to third in the table, 10 wins in a row, Aston Villa. And they didn't do much in the game. We made two defensive mistakes, and Morgan Rogers put them away. You can't be giving space to a quality player like that. But before I get into ranting about our defensive issues, we were the better team. We defended well for large parts of the game. We had good possession for large parts of the game. And not just possession in the back line. We pushed Aston Villa into their defensive third and they camped in their half with us continually passing the ball, making movements and creating chances. And again, we're not clinical enough. Had we taken our chances, we would have won the game. Sesko had two chances in the first half. Cunha had chances. The shot that went wide, the header that was in the small box that went wide. Those are chances that you need to be putting away. You can't be wasting chances against top opposition. They are going to punish you when they get the opportunity. Because, as you saw, when we made defensive mistakes, Morgan Rogers was clinical. Something our attacking players are not really having yet in their arsenal of armory, if I have to put it that way. We didn't have Masraoui, we didn't have Ahmad, we didn't have Mbumo, and that is obvious because of the AFCON. But we still had a decent enough team to get 3 points. And the way the game started, you could see that Aston Villa were not ready. They didn't expect us to be as confident and as dominant on the ball as we were. But for some reason, you could see the players were coasting. They looked very lethargic. They looked very comfortable with just being stuck at a 0-0 draw. Because after the mistake that led to Morgan Rogers' opening goal, we then started to click into gear. We then started to play with intensity, with aggression and with purpose. And because of that, we won the ball high up the pitch and we scored. Why could we not do that from the beginning? Why did we have to wait until the opposition scores before we actually get into being aggressive? Too many times that has happened. Way too many times. And I certainly cannot understand why that is the case. For some reason, our players look very comfortable with where we are right now. They're very comfortable with us languishing between, shall I say, 6th to 10th. They don't want to fight and be, shall I say, challenging for the top positions, the Champions League places. No, they're quite comfortable with where they are. Their mentalities are not at the level required for a Manchester United player. And I can pinpoint those players, the likes of Ugarte, the likes of Delo. These players are not good enough for Manchester United. Delo has one good game, scores a goal or gets an assist, and all of a sudden, everyone's like, be quiet now. No, Delo has always been bad. He hasn't improved since Amorim came in, and he certainly hasn't improved his own game as a player. And you can argue on the left-hand side he's not as good because it's not his favorite position. But when he plays on the right-hand side, he looks exactly the same. So it can't be the position. It's him as a player that is not good enough. I couldn't understand and fathom how the chances that we got could not be put away. It's not, shall I say, difficult chances. Those type of opportunities, the likes of Haaland and Mbappe, etc., they put it away. Because those are opportunities for them to get a goal, to put their team in the lead, to have some concrete dominance in any particular game. Now let's talk about the goals. So the very first goal that they score, we had so much time to avoid conceding that goal. Because the ball gets played all the way up to Morgan Rogers. He miscontrols it, gets it on the byline, basically, and Yoro gives him all acres of space to turn, to run with the ball, and before you know it, he puts it in the top corner. Why does Yoro not aggressively go out to him the moment he miscontrolled it? That was the opportunity to close him down. Once he comes inside, why is Ugarte not closing him down as the defensive midfielder? What are we doing? We conceded because of our own mistakes, because of what Yoro did. Delo wasn't tracking back in order to make it a 2-on-1 with Morgan Rogers. He left Lily Yoro to his own devices, and look what happened. Now, credit to us, we equalized quite quickly. Dogu winning the ball up high from Matty Cash, playing it to Mateus Cunha, and he puts it away clinically. But that is the type of clinical finishing we needed for the rest of the game. Because as I said, Cunha had opportunities. He had chances to put us into the lead, to make us equalize. Because again, we went in 1-1, and then all of a sudden in the second half, again, the ball gets played in. Aiden Evan looks like he fell asleep because Watkins gets to the ball. It deflects out to the edge of the box, and again, Lenny Yoro not tracking his man. Rogers picks it up because he's more alert, he's more alive, he's more hungry to get the ball, and he puts it away. Carbon copy of his first goal. And again, it is our fault, our defensive errors. And other than that, Aston Villa had nothing. We defended so well with and without the ball. But those two moments, lapses in concentration, cost us the game. And people talk about Lenny Yoro and Aiden Evan being 19 and 20, young defenders, inexperienced. But it's the basics that they got wrong. How is Lenny Yoro not closing down Morgan Rogers? How is he not being aggressive to go and win the ball? What is this backtracking like Virgil van Dijk and hoping that the ball's going to get shot wide or someone else is going to tackle or block the shot? Do your job, as Roy Keane said. You need to be the one putting your body on the line just as much and as desperate as you are to score a goal. We are doing so well in attack, but defensively we look like amateurs. How are we able to dominate on the ball without Bruno, who went off injured and is probably going to be out for a couple games? We didn't have Mainu able to come on from the bench because he's also injured. No De Ligt, no Maguire, and as I said, no Mbumo, Mazraoui and Ahmad. And yet, we still dominated. Yet, we still created more chances. That is a positive for me. That shows that we can compete with the top teams, especially when we have our strongest team fit and available. But again, it is inconsistency. We continuously find ourselves creating our own problems. And you can't put the loss on Amorim. Not this one. Yes, he makes mistakes as a manager, but this particular loss, you cannot put on him. It is obvious that the players that he has at his disposal, some of them are not good enough. Lenny Yoro is still young, but the basics of defending you have to get right. That you learn when you are in the academy of any team. The basics of defending, especially if you are a defender. We had an opportunity to go fifth, and again, we did not take that opportunity. And we now, leading into Christmas, we basically are sixth in the table, which is okay. I mean, there's still a lot of games left to play, and the top teams, of course, have to play each other, so they will drop points here and there. But we can't keep drawing, losing, winning, losing, drawing, winning. We can't. We're never going to climb the table if we continually are inconsistent. I'm very frustrated at the performance because we had opportunities to win. We had opportunities to defend better and not concede goals, because lately our defending has been an absolute shambles. We conceded 4 against Bournemouth. We conceded to bottom of the log Wolves. And now we conceded to Aston Villa, and again, it wasn't their own doing. It was our mistakes that gave them the opportunity. They didn't press us. They didn't win the ball high up. We just didn't defend well in those 2 moments, and it cost us. That is the mark of top football. Any small error that you make can be punished tremendously. But we play Newcastle next, and that is going to be another tough game. We have so many players that won't be available. Mainu and Bruno, Amorim already said won't be available. We'll have to see if De Ligt and Maguire is going to be fit for that game. But the youngsters that came on, Jack Fletcher, Shea Lacey, showed a good account of themselves. And Amorim was impressed with their performance. Shea Lacey got a shot off that was saved by Martinez. Fletcher looked quite comfortable in midfield, getting the ball, receiving, turning and passing. I think Shea Lacey should have gotten more of the ball, but he's young. He just made his debut with Jack Fletcher, so there is time for them to grow into the team. But we're going to be seeing a lot more of them now because of the injuries that we have, and that is a positive. They bring a different energy, they bring a different spice, and they certainly will give their all because of wanting to impress. So I am excited for that particular aspect. But you let me know in the comment section what you thought of the game against Aston Villa. What are your thoughts on our defending? And of course, your thoughts on Ruben Amorim. Have a wonderful day further. Till we see each other again soon in the next one. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching. If you want more content on Manchester United, like, share and subscribe.